All right. So, like I said, the reason why I make these videos is because, as a target individual, you will always be forced to think, to believe these thoughts and this manipulation. There will be a whole ecosystem of people dedicated to torment you and to make you subscribe to a false reality. There's a lot of manipulations. Of course, there's the obvious things that's happening to your body, but to your mind, and try to change you and make you believe that you're something that you're not. And you see people, I call them just the trash, the government contractor. You see, when you see who's involved, you kind of get that feeling too. You know, you get that. You see them for what they are. Especially once you listen to a lot of testimonials, you can see it's like, it just makes sense now. There was something up about these people, right? And there's a lot of people around you. That's the whole ecosystem. But you see that, it's like, you can see this orchestrated life that this, it's like all of these people are just this trash the government uses. And you can see the enjoyment they get from feeling empowered when they're truly, some of them are very vulnerable. Some of them are just like pure trash. They're all trash on one level, but some of them you're like, oh my gosh, I get why you're in this. I get why you're feeling this way. I get what you're trying to do here. They are bottom feeders. You know, because of the situation, I mean, my isolations. Once I go outside and go out and start indulging in drinking. For example, a few days ago, I went out, started going out, went to a bar, started drinking. Because of already the circumstances you're in, you become a very emotional being, right? And you understand that you are preparing yourself for something that's going to happen to you, that's going to be horrible. And so you start living life as if you're dying. And you're thinking that, and you know your body, something's happening to you. And so what happens is, you become this emotional person when you're drinking, right? Drinking already makes you just alters things, right? But when you have that feeling of near end of some sort, you start doing things that kind of embarrasses you, not in the sense that you do something bad, but you start talking to people and you want to talk to them and you tell them, I'm dying, and like you say things that to people that are actually perps, but at that moment you just like talk to them as if they're regular people, knowing that they're perps, and going to like a sad emotional moment that's, if you're you yourself, you'll never be there. Like you just, and so now when I'm looking back at like a few days ago, I feel like super cringe. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like, what was I? Oh, it's just, I'm so, like, oh, like, it's just obviously me being like emotional and drunk, and that's, I'm like, oh, I feel a little embarrassed, right, for talking like that, talking about emotional things like that. Just like, oh, this is obviously me being a little bit drunk. And so looking back, those cringy moments, just like when I'm embarrassed, I just like, I need to like say something. I just like say something just randomly to try to make me block out this embarrassing moment, which is only embarrassing because I was just being so emotional. I was like, oh man, I would never be like, me naturally, and me not under the influence, I would not think like that. It's just that. And some of the time, it's just, you can understand the circumstances, that you understand that you're in a situation that you're in. I'm understanding of the reality I'm in. So without understanding, this is why I react this way. Now, these people won't try to take advantage of this moment, because the vulnerability to them is a time for them to manipulate you. Time to manipulate you and manipulate things, right? But the good thing about seeing people in outside of your isolated environment, you see them truly for what they are. Oh my gosh, you just see how fraudulent, how weak, how nothing they are truly. While they tell you nothing, they're just trash. It's like, it's just nasty. I just thankful that I didn't have to live the life that these people live. It's not hard life in the sense that they do anything hard. What's hard is just humiliating. Obviously, I'm not subscribing to these people. I know who I am. I know the manipulations. I know what they've done to people. I know they torture women and children. I can see it when I talk to them. When I see them doing their act, I'm like, you would do this to a woman easily. But no problem. With absolutely zero problem. I can see it. They'll tell me, I remember I was in a restaurant, somebody's like, oh, they're going to fist you, they're going to kill you. It's like, and I'm looking at this person, this woman, a woman. I'm going to start making videos and show those, because I filmed those people, just to show you how obvious things are orchestrated. You can see them, you can, and I'm looking at her, it's like, I'd rather give torture whatever way you tell me I'm going to be tortured than having to do what you do. It's just a sign, just we see weakness, it's fine. Like, it just makes me feel dignified. It's just weird. If I feel like empowered in a sense of dignity-wise. Like, this is humiliating what you're doing. I can see through you. I already get feasted. I know you torture children and women in this program. I know these people doing this thing to me. I have no, if I had doubts in my life about that, when you see them, then you get it. This is how you're capable of doing this. This is, I see it. It's because you guys are, this is an obvious government entity organizing these things. And so they have done things where they can make themselves be something else, and these people they target being non-human. And you look at them, it looks the opposite. These people look like the non-human, and you look like something else, like beyond them, above them. It looks like the things are just the other way around. But they're themselves down to think that it's like, no, you know, the nasty things that the testimony and what you make me think, it was so disgusting. And of course, they did the pedophilia type of tormenting, disgusting. When you sleep, typical things. And somehow they think that you forgot the 100 videos you already made. You forgot about the testimonies about the pedophilia type of torture. You see who can be humiliated that way. And I'm looking at it like, yep, I can see it. I can see somebody in you blocking out reality. I can see. And they call it being at war. It's like, yep, definitely somebody who called out being at war. It's just more obvious. So I'll come back. Late after going places, wake up, I'm thinking about the cringy moment. It just found myself, why would I even let myself be this vulnerable and then come up with it? I don't like that. And this is something that I'm going to minimize, as I probably will never happen to that extent. And so, first of all, they start obviously going to, they do the pedophilia type of torture, right? Anytime they can, they implant some pedophilia things in my dreams. They're having weird, disgusting, pedophilia-centric dreams to condition my brain. I can see them being in a program that will condition a man or a woman to have these disturbing thoughts about children. I can see that. But it makes sense that the people who run this trash will have problems and patterns of pedophilia. They would try to come up with these things like, let me see your Instagram, try to come up with a little fantasy of articles. Like, listen, stop trying to come up with a little fantasy. This reality is, there's a bunch of pedophiles in these agencies, from the CIA, DOD, and DARPA. You're working, and this program is ran by these people. These people meaning these entities. These entities that's filled with pedophiles. You have to come up with your BS things, try to make me not only manipulate my brain to think in these disgusting ways, but try to find ways to create a way for me to subscribe to your dumbness. I'm not going to subscribe to that. And then you see who can humiliate themselves to make you think this way. I know. That's why they use these childlike people. I can see them as like, this is the retard that could do this 24/7. And you see those people who try to make themselves be like respectable people. And I'm looking at you, trash. There's no wonder why there's so many pedophiles in these agencies. What these people talk about is okay, yeah, yeah, okay. Like, they're delusional. There is a reality they're trying to escape from, and they're making me imagine this reality that they created together. It's so nasty. And then, because try to talk about me as a child. You understand? I was watching this thing, and you see somebody talk about his childhood. You see this grown man, and you see him as a kid around 12, 13 years old. And I'm like, can you imagine if you this they start saying this grown man? Now it was you when you were we matched to you when you were a kid like that, a grown man in his 30s, mid 30s, and they start saying no, they dare to match it. Like, it's obvious that it's manipulation. They do the pedophilia type of torture, and that's what they do. And these people who are filled with pedophiles in these agencies contracting this trash are trying to get you to accept these things. They're truly the bottom feeders. And so when they try to make me subscribe to these daring tactics, which is not daring tactics in their sense because they've been doing this for years, they start making me think of things that they can try to create as something else. They want to create patterns. So they're going to falsify patterns. There's something I did when I was in 8th grade that's embarrassing. It's something that happened once. It was a moment that was stupid. They have to exaggerate it, but that was it. Now, to try to create a pattern, they're going to see what can we make it seem like something like that happened again. And there's this thing where they try to change into something else. It was me, and I said it in one of my videos. Oh, no, it was you when you in 97, you felt like that. Oh, in 99, you felt like this. Oh, in 2000, you felt like that. Oh, you see? I'm in my mid-30s, so we're talking about childhood, huh? There's this moment. I just turned 13 years old, 2 months. After 2 months of turning 13 years old, I live in this family host. This family hosted me. I'm a kid. They have a little girl. She's like 3 years old or something like that. They're stimulating me just saying that because apparently that's going to make me subscribe to this. And they're going to say it's matching. It's not. It's what they do. They literally stimulate me talking about it to create this pedophilia kind of thing. And so I remember as I'm speaking about it, they're stimulating me and they're making those campaigns because they want these moments to be accepted in these ways. I remember being 13, excited of being on a computer for the first time. All right, I didn't grow up around computers. I was able to get on the computers whenever I wanted. I could be on that computer. It was like so much fun for me. Somebody who didn't have the chance to be on computers and play video games, computer games like that. I loved it. So during the winter break, when I had the chance, I played on the computer. It was in the office, and that little girl, sometimes like she liked to kind of be annoying sometimes. And I remember, and I'm saying that it stimulated me because they want mommy mirror to experience that. And I remember I was playing, and they had this like housekeeper slash nanny that took care of the house. They were pretty well, comfortable family. You know, the father and the mother were doctors, and they were busy people. They had like a nanny and slash not even a nanny, a housekeeper. She was cleaning, she was doing all that, and I spent most of my time on this office playing with the computer. I loved it. It was like, you know. And so, and mind you, I'm just turned 13 years old 2 months prior. I want to put this in a perspective that they try to block out, right? This trash. Just turned 13 years old. I remember, and I'm saying that knowing they're gonna stimulate me. I'm playing, and I see this little girl somehow coming to the office, right? And usually, she's not there. I can have this place for myself. I'm like, oh, she comes in. She's very adorable. She's come to the chair next to me, and she wants to be she started to annoy me. It's like, I want to do it. I want to like. And you know, she's very adorable, so I start kissing her on the cheek, like, and I try to, and she's still annoying me. Try to be on the computer. She can't even be on the computer. She does what she do. And then finally, the housekeeper comments like, hey, let's go, let's take, let's him do his thing, and that's that. Now they're trying to change version of reality here. The memory version. They try to add one is me when I kissed her on the cheek. They try to make me think because she did. They try to make it seem like I kissed her lips, her mouth. It's just disgusting. They try to change it to that. This is a falsified memory, completely falsified. I know that's the BS. Now another thing they try to do is forget about kissing on the mouth. I kissed on the cheeks, but what they try to do is, but you're happy that the housekeeper was not there because you got a chance to kiss her on the cheek. Okay. You understand? Okay, I got a chance to kiss her on the cheek. I kissed her on her cheek in front of her dad. I remember we were about to go to church together, and I remember she was dressed up, and I was like, "Oh, you're so adorable." I kissed her on the cheek. And the dad, I remember behind me, he's like, "Oh, you see, Sarah, you're so cute. You can be eaten," or something like that. They're trying to say that, "Oh no, you're excited that you could do something to her." It's like, what, kissing on the cheek even more? Right? When in reality, what I was excited, what I wanted is this person to come so she can get rid of her, and I can still play with my thing, with the computer. But they're like, "Oh, but would you be able to kiss this baby on the cheek if the?" I was like, "Oh, he's stupid." They're just trying to find something. You understand? They then try to create, no, what you want is like take advantage of by kissing her on the cheek again. Like they just come up with these stories, and they give me stimulations. And they try to find ways to create this BS. It's like, you see how pathetic you have to be? You're trying to find patterns, but in reality, you do the perfect type of torture. You actually tortured children, and you're here trying to talk about me at 13 years old, trying to come up with some versions. Like, first of all, it was kissing the lips, it was just too much. Then he's like, "Oh no, but you were kind of excited to kiss her." He's like, to kiss her on a, yes, it's very adorable. This was a on the cheek. And they're like, "Oh, but would you do that in front of the nanny?" It's like, "I do that in front of the father." These people are delusional. And they're like, they wait for you. They're gonna do this. It's like, whatever they're gonna do to me. If you think this is gonna make me subscribe to this version of reality, I'm not gonna let you live your fantasy. They don't even know how to try to make it something else. Like, oh, maybe like you couldn't kiss this chicks. And they try to say, "Oh, you molested her." They see. "Oh, you groped her." Because I kissed her on the cheek. And it's just like, no, but when you try to find something, a reality that's built. And they're right, it's their world of nasty and pedophilia world that they're in, where they could come up with their fantasy. Reality is, I know who put me in this program. This trash do these things to people around the world. Try to find ways to turn something else into something else. It's disgusting. It's just nasty. But that's what they do. And you know, to make me accept this, they're like, "Oh, they'll wait for you. They're going to torture you." They're going to like, whatever torture I'm going to get to, I'm not going to let you live your fantasy. You have to come up with this BS. Now, the thing I actually did, I remember what I did as a kid. A year, like, after that, something stupid I did once. And because of that, because it's something I did once and there's no pattern of it, they're going to have to find ways to create something that was innocent, wholesome, and try to turn it into something else. They would try to give me a feeling, right? You know when you see something very cute, oh, they try to make it something else. They try to now make me feel sexual stimulation. Now, I understand this is what they do. They falsify memories. They've been falsifying memories for decades. The trash around me are supposed to make me subscribe to these things. Now, these people are renowned to do this very type of torture. I'm in my mid-30s. Can you imagine being told, "Oh, no, but it's you when you were a kid"? And they're having to try to even falsify things as a child. And then all throughout the night, they'll make me have these weird pedophilia dreams. And it's like, "Oh, no, we matched it to you as a kid." And then tell me I'm going to be feasted, killed, and tortured, as if that's going to make me accept these things. I was like, no, they are. These people who are renowned to do the pedophilia type of torture. Like, when I saw you, do you think I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I subscribe to these things"? You guys are obviously renowned for your pedophilia torture. You are renowned to do these things to people. Me getting beat means nothing. When I see these people, I was like, "Oh, they're going to beat you." You work for the government. The program you're in is meant to destroy somebody's life. Me getting beat is like, oh my gosh, it's nothing. It's like directed energy versus getting beat. Technology that can rewire your brain or getting, like, you understand. However this thing goes, they have contracted this trash, which it doesn't take much. I can see them. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to start making videos and talking about it. about these people specifically. I'm not gonna blur them because these people I will never see. They're not around me. It's like this is somebody who's trying to subscribe to this. This is perps, trash, trying to get you to subscribe to a reality that's falsified. And then when I see a picture of me when I'm a kid, I'm like, oh my gosh. And you want me to believe that what you're doing to me? I'm 30, you know, 7 or so. Can you imagine? It's like, no, it's you when you're 13. We matched it to you when you were 13 years old. You know, obviously, to do the pedophilia type of torture. Then they go into memories. Where can we create something? Oh, let's create something there. Try to find ways to make me subscribe to this. I can never let them live their fantasy. I will never be able to do that. So to all my target individual, they try to gaslight me in every fashion to make me feel doubtful. You know, yesterday I didn't feel good, but I was trying to play. I was trying to look at my accounts, right, to make sure everything was good. And I'm not very familiar. Like I was having issue with looking at the details, but I couldn't put things together. I was like, something's going on. I'm trying to click. It's not. It's like, oh, what's going on here? And I know what they try to do every time now is to try to force me to blame them on things they don't do. So when they do their things, which is the systematic pedophilia type of tormenting, oh, it's us, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, I did this. Yes, you do this. No, you didn't do these things. And yes, they push my brain to kind of think this way. And at the same time, you, as a target individual, you are in a high alert, right? You are super suspicious of everything that happens to you. At some point, you don't know, is this something they're doing? Is that something like due to what they've done to you? But now I understand this is what they do to try to gaslight you. So now I don't even, like, that's the last task. I'm like, no, there's something. Let me see. I was like looking at it. Oh, okay, maybe this is pending. That's why it's not there. And I try to have this back and forth in my brain. I'm like, just to try to blame. And then I realized, okay, there's this arrow. Okay, as you can see, we did this. Yes, you do this pedophilia type of torture. No, this account, this chase app, it had nothing to do, but I know that you guys try to do this. It's going to happen again. Something that has nothing to do with them, especially when it comes to electronics. My brain is going to be also forced, but naturally, you'll be a little bit alerted because you understand these people are playing with your phone all the time. They've shown they've done it. They've shown they've done this. They've shown that they can mess with your computer and your phone, right? It might not be all the time, like I said before, but they do this. So you're gonna be on a high alert. But those moments where they've tried to make, did they do this? So like, they take that moment to try to gaslight you. You see, it's you. They are, and you hear this childlike people that you know that's trash to make you like doubtful about the obvious things they do. I know it's falsified. Let me say this. I'm a trillion% sure that these manipulations on my memories is what they do. This disturbing pedophilia type of torture is what they've been doing since August 19, 2019. I've been validated by so many others that they force you to experience these nasty things and they try to make you doubtful about the obviousness. It's not me when I was a child. I'm not a child. And you guys are just trash contracted by these government entities to try to make people subscribe to this falsified reality, this falsified memories. And yes, every time something's going to happen, my brain, even is going to be forced by you or even will always be like, is there something they're doing here? Because everything around you is orchestrated and manipulated. And once you experience this, it's only natural for you to be suspicious of if are they doing something or not. Because those are the things that you don't know, you have doubt about. And so it's natural to, when you have doubt about something that you don't know they're doing in regard to your devices, because everything else you don't have doubt. You don't have doubt they force you to think this way. You have no doubt that your body is breaking down because of them. You have no doubt that what's happening to your knees and your hands and your feet and your brain and your skull is what they do. That is like obvious. Now, when it comes to devices, is that are they doing something now? Is that it? And so they use these moments to gaslight you, to make you doubt for the obvious things they do to you. So, to all my target individual, they've been falsifying memories. They've been making me have disturbing dreams. They've been doing all these nasty things to me. And moments of vulnerability like now, because I'm thinking about the embarrassing things that I did when I was out, about talking in certain ways, kind of emotional, almost crying. I can't do this. It's, I mean, I can't do that, but thinking about it, it's just, I'm already somebody who's already very cringe. I like, when I embarrass myself, I think about it all the time. It comes back and I'm like, And so they use this moment to try to like add things to you because you're vulnerable. You just feel like embarrassed, and they try to make you subscribe to something that is even the BS things they do. And to, as always, they tell me I'm going to be raped and tortured as if that is going to be something that is validating. I rather get raped and tortured than deal with what they do. What they do. This death, this is honor and dignity in my death. I'm telling you, especially when you see them. Now, I'm not perfect. If Saturday or whatever show that, I embarrassed myself. But I'm glad I didn't have to live life like them. So to all my target individuals, stay strong, and no justice will be done for the nasty things these people do to people, including what they're doing to me. So stay strong.